You guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today I have prepared for you Poul. This is a fowl chicken. It's wonderful. It's more of a stewed chicken rather than a frying chicken. It's not a broiler. So you guys, I want you to see how I prepared it. And if you want to see, come on in. Let's get to it, you guys, because it's not easy and it doesn't take a minute to cook. So let's get to it, you guys. Thank you again for coming. Hi, you guys. Again, thank you for coming back. You guys, we're making fowl chicken here in the kitchen. It takes longer. This is not a frying chicken. This is much of a stewed type chicken, but it is delightful. It is wonderful. I have my lemons, my limes, and some vinegar. Now I'm going to just cut my chicken up. If you notice, this is a different camera, you guys, because my camera broke, unfortunately. And so we are going to do with what we have. Okay. So you can see I've cut up the chicken, okay? I've cut them up and I've left a nice part of the breast onto that because this is the little drumette. And this chicken was about 5.5 pounds. So it's a big chicken. And this is the breast, and this is what I wanted to show you. This is the breast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the breast in quarters, okay? So I cut it in half. You cut it in half, and then you're going to go right down again alongside of this breast again, this part of the breast, and break it. And this is the back, which I'm going to cut in half again, remove the insides or whatever like that, and just, you see that? You could just, it's already like, you're going to break that, you're going to cut that right down the middle as well. Okay, so I've removed the fat. I keep a little bag on the side to remove all of the junk and stuff. And I remove everything, all of the connective tissues, and take as much of the skin off. I've removed as much of the skin off as possible. Fowl is more of a fatty. It is very fatty, but the bigger ones are less fatty. But this one was a good one. So I'm going to just start washing them with lemon, and I have my hot water bath waiting as well. Okay, so now that everything is lemoned up and cleaned to my liking, you guys, now I'm going to pour the hot boiling water, okay? Okay, here goes the hot boiling water, and we want to just stir. I did it. See, the lemon peels are still in there, you guys. All right. So what I've done is now removed all of the lemons and the peels and everything like that. And now I'm just rinsing it off with cold water. Okay. Cold water. Rinse off all of the vinegar, the lemon juice, and all of that. You just give it a nice shake. I usually like to leave it in. You're going to rinse that off really well, okay? And drain that water off. And now it's time for us to season. Okay, so now we are going to add our seasoning because it is completely rinsed out. So right here I have my garlic, my parsley, and the seasoning spices that I use, my ippies. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that. Put that in there. 2 tablespoons. And you guys, I will be bringing the ippies, hang on to that. I have a tablespoon of lime juice, my cloves. I have the juice of the pickles, okay? This is for the acidity. And then I have a Scotch bonnet. I have the sprig of rosemary, dried rosemary. I have in here, I have the seasoned salt, my parsley seasoning, and Lowry seasoning salt. And I'm going to spread that all around. Okay. And I also have here my spicy chili flake, peppers, dried. And then I buy them like that in a pack. It comes dried just like that. They are really good, you guys. And then I'm going to rinse off my garlic. You see the cloves? I'm going to put all of this in. The ippies also has garlic in it, but I'm going to smash those up real quick. Here's the garlic. All right, now we're going to marinate this all together. And I'm not going to add anything else to it, honestly. And people, you might ask why. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my gloves back on. Had to put new gloves on because, okay. So you might be asking, well, if you make the ippies, what's the point when you put in fresh garlic? Because like I have explained for those of you who haven't seen other videos, is that to me, garlic loses pungency the longer it sits. So if you make your ippies for like about a week, the garlic is in there, yes, but it loses that strong garlic flavor, and that's what you're looking for in your seasoning. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to marinate this really, really well. Okay. Okay, so I am, look at that. I'm also adding a packet of Sazon Goya to it. Okay. There it is. Add that. And this is it. Now, you guys, you want to marinate this for, you're going to marinate this overnight. And I'm going to just keep tossing that and incorporate the seasonings. Look at that. Oh, you guys, this is going to taste so delicious. Lovely. Please tell me how your chicken, your poultry comes out, okay? I want to hear for all of you who made this, but being that Lovely was the one that specifically requested this video, Lovely, this one's for you, my dear. So I'm going to marinate my chicken, and then I'm going to boil this. I'm going to boil it. And this is you're going to boil this for about an hour and a half, okay? Because it just, this chicken, it's not only because it's big, but it's also because it takes time. It's hard. It's not like your regular broiler. You know, this is a chicken that takes much longer, but it's extremely delicious in flavor. All right, so you guys, this is my chicken marinated, okay? So make sure that all of the seasonings get into that. And you can see, look at the bone. You can see that bone. You see that? You see that's a difference. That's how you can tell a fowl chicken too, because the bone on a regular chicken is pink and the bone for the fowl chicken is darker in color. Okay. So let's get, all right, so you guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the pot. I have some water already down there with some garlic, and we're just gonna pour that in. Oh, see. Okay. Pour it in. And then we're going to let that boil. I did add a little bit of water into it just to boil it, okay? And we're going to boil this for about 45 minutes. For an hour to an hour and 25 minutes. We'll check it sporadically. We'll check it at about 25 minutes, okay, to taste to see if it has enough salt, etc. And then we'll cover it again on low, like a medium low broil. You don't want to boil this on high. And then we'll see what it turns out to. And you see there's not too much water like covering it, no, okay, because poultry, and it's a tricky chicken to cook because I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna color it, put it in the pot, but you know what, I may just put it in the oven and under broil just to be quicker, okay? So we're gonna let that come up to a boil. There is my Scotch bonnet. It's not hot. That's why it's broken, you guys. Usually I tell you don't break them, but this one isn't spicy. I tasted it. It tastes like a bell pepper, honestly. All right, so let's keep this cooking, you guys. Okay, so now that the chicken is cooked, I'm gonna, usually what they do is they will put this, they'll leave it in the pan, in the pot, and brown it. But what I'm doing is I'm putting it on a sheet, a cookie sheet, and I'm gonna brown it under the broiler, and then I'm gonna get on my sauce. So now we're gonna throw this under the broiler. I have it on the baking sheet, and I'm going to throw it in the broiler for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'll wait until it completely browns, and then we'll flip it over, and then we'll get ready on our sauce. Alright, so to make the sauce, I have some oil in the pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some onions. If you have bell peppers, you can add bell peppers as well during this time, okay? Going to let that saute until it's nice and translucent. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, oops, look at that. Now I'm going to just turn that over. But in the meantime, I have about a tablespoon and a half of tomato paste that I'm going to let that fry right in. And then I'm going to flip these over. Okay, so your tomato paste, you'll always notice that we're going to dilute it just with a dab of water. It's about a tablespoon and a half of water. And you just want to dilute it. And you want to let that fry a little bit. You want it to cook a little bit because you don't want it to have that tomatoey taste, because we're not making like spaghetti sauce. Okay? So you have to cook off the taste. Just like flour, when you're making a roux, you cook it off. It's the same thing with tomato paste, okay? And you do that for about between 3 to 4 minutes. And you have to watch it so it don't burn, okay? Because it can scorch real easily. See? Scrape down. Keep doing that. I want nothing sticking to the bottom of your pot. Okay, that looks good. See that? Okay, so now I'm going to add the broth that cooked the chicken. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm going to add the chicken after, but some people usually fry with the tomato paste. They would add the meat. That's how my mother usually does it. And while she's turning the tomato paste, she's frying the tomato paste, she'll add the meat. Okay, but me, like I said, I'm trying to do it the easiest way with a good outcome. I promise you, it's the best outcome ever. And you don't have to just like stay over the pot watching it, because it's just too tedious. It is really tedious, but this is the easiest shortcut way to do it with an excellent outcome. You won't even know the difference. So we'll let this come up to a boil, and then we'll add the chicken to it. Look at that, you guys. All done. Isn't it pretty? Nicely colored. All I did was put it on broil. Now, my sauce is just coming up to a boil. In the meantime, I'm going to add a few sprigs. So just a few sprigs, okay, of thyme, and let that come up to a boil. And then as soon as it starts to come up to a boil, we'll taste it towards the end, not just now. I've also added a cup of water just to make more sauce. At this time, if you want to add potatoes, that means you would peel your potatoes, cut it in half. You can add it now. And sometimes we add macaroni to it. That would be like the ronzoni kind, or the ziti. Sometimes some people would add that too. But I'm not going to add anything. I'm just going to add the chicken today and let that be it. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me add a couple of potatoes just so I could show you guys what it looks like. So here I have my potatoes. Not too many, you guys. This is just 3. They were small. So just going to let that cook. And I'm going to give that about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to add the chicken to it. And I'm going to add a couple of sprigs of parsley. Now that it's been boiling, put that in there for a bit. And now we're going to add our meat to it. Yes, you guys. It's that time. Oops, and it's stuck to the paper. It's all right. Mommy. Also, what I want to tell you guys is not to put the all of the pieces. So you see what I have here? I kept the parts that are most likely to break. Okay, I want them to stay whole. So like the chicken breast, you add that last. But like the back and all of those other thighs, those are mostly firm. And they're less likely to break. So we're going to let this cook up a little bit more, and as it thickens, we'll add the rest of our meat. All right, you guys, so now we're going to, as the sauce is thickening, we're going to add the remaining pieces of our meat. Okay, we're going to add the remaining. Also, what we're going to do right now, we're going to taste it to see if it has enough salt. If it's missing anything, this is the time that you want to do that, okay? See, the potatoes are right there that we added in there. So good, you guys. You're going to truly, truly love this. You know, interestingly, I remember making another poultry recipe, but it was the smaller ones, and it erased. So I don't know. So it's a good thing that this was requested. So now you're gonna taste it to see what it's missing. Okay, and then you're gonna add whatever you think that it's missing, because you want to do this as it gets thicker. Okay, so I'm gonna get a smaller spoon and I'm gonna taste it. Okay, for me it's perfect. It doesn't need anything. But if you need a little bit of sodium or something like that, or a little bit of hot peppers. Right now, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crush a few garlic. You know me. Flavor on flavor on flavor. So let's get the garlic. There's my cloves. Fish up your potatoes at this time, because we're almost done. I like to remove it. Some people don't, but I don't want it to, because what happens is it absorbs your sauce, okay? It absorbs all of the sauce, so you just want to pull them out. All right, so after 5 minutes, can you see, you guys, how thick the sauce has gotten? I did not add flour. You do not have to add flour into your sauce to make it thick. All you have to do is just be patient, okay? And just let it reduce, and it will become thick, and you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful sauce. So the only thing now I'm going to do now is just make sure, look at that, how beautiful that sauce is. Oh, and it tastes amazing. That last garlic just did the whole trick. If you want it spicy, you could put your pima, your habanero on there, and at this time too. But I don't need it because it has a kick with my chilies that I had placed. My potatoes right there. The next thing I'm going to do is I have like my onions that I'm going to place, and I'm going to turn off the fire. And this is it. This is it. Let me rinse my hands off. Turn off that's it. The sauce is done. Done, done, done. You're just going to take your sauce and just drizzle it over your onions. Don't submerge them. Just leave them as is. Leave them as such. Okay. Yes. Wonderful. You can make this with anything, you guys. And you are just going to be happy. Alright, let's plate this up, you guys. I have some rice and some macaroni and cheese that I've prepared today. And this is it. Right, you guys, there it is, all done. You guys, thank you again for coming back to my channel. Poultry, it is wonderful, delightful, tasty. And you know what? I'm pairing it off with some beautiful rice and beans. I have my macaroni and cheese, you guys. And I'm going to make a green salad. And this is it, Sunday's dinner. Sunday at its best, you guys, in our household. You guys, I hope you've been affected. Like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy. Love you guys for watching. Bye.